Hey guys, welcome back to Tenerife, and it's a Champions League final against PSG, against our former great goalkeeper, without our current great goalkeeper. It's going to be a tough challenge to retain this title, and there's some further bad news. So not only are we missing Christian Christensen, Hugo Merckx has got himself injured just before the final as well. Yep, young player of basically everything is not available. There's also one other thing I want to check, and my eyes didn't deceive me. Real Betis did win the Europa League. I said in the semi-final stages, if both the Madrids don't get to the final, it'll be a shock. I didn't actually follow up on that. Atletico did, Real Madrid didn't. Well done, Real Betis, dispatching both Madrids to win that title. So they get Champions League football, they didn't even get into the Europa League. So the team for the final is basically the full first strength 11 minus the two enforced changes, which is Gallardo at right wing and Abad in goal. The rest of the lineup, Lodi at left back, Harwood, Picard, Hanous in the back line, Ravello and Valverde and Faisal in the middle, Batterine on the left, Alvarez up front. The bench, a few surprise names on the bench of course, a few of those fringe players, a few of those players that consistently play for the B team like Cardos. Sillerson makes the bench because I think Christensen didn't need to be registered, so I still had the two goalies in Abad and Sillerson registered, thankfully, because Sillerson is 1.5 star, technically, but basically can't move, but as a goalkeeper, still knows what he's doing. Our youth prospect, Gerardo Garcia, is on the bench, as is Svoboda, who's been here forever in the B team, basically, since the first season. 20 years old now, actually looks quite decent, 2 stars. Don't think he's going to still amount to much at this point, at 20 years old, but figured I'd get him on that bench. There's not really any better options. Not really any other options from our youth side. Ivan's the only other consideration we could have made. But away we go. As we say, the two enforced, they've got Pedri Kulevski, Thibaut De Bruyne, who's an insane new gen, and Mbappe, of course, still there. That is a terrifying lineup of young, great players, actually. Even 5 years in, those players are going to be sort of just heading into their primes. They're not even going to be in their primes, technically. Neymar's still there, on the older side, of course. Ronaldo went there of his own accord in-game, because that's not a pre-arranged transfer. Max Allen's a right back. Harry Kane in central midfield, irritatingly. Pino, I don't really know. Might be another new gen. Presumably another new gen. No, seems to be a real person just without a face. Much like Core in ours. By the way, in case you're wondering, Sillerson's number 1 because the numbers were put in before Alex Merritt left. So that's why Christensen wasn't number 1 all season. Or even number 12 as the backup goalkeeper. Because Merritt left and then I got in Abad as the backup. I couldn't give Abad the number 1. So Sillerson got number 1 when I had to play him at one point, or put him on the bench at one point. So in case you're wondering why Sillerson's number 1, that's why. Obviously, Christensen will get the number 1 shirt next year. Don't know who's going to get the number 9. I presume Bruno Alves at this point. Because we're going to try and move Icardi on. He's got a replacement coming in as a backup. That one's already arranged. So technically striking, we're already sorted. Although, if I can improve on Bruno Alves, I will do. But like, he's still young. He's still got time to develop. Badoran Core puts the ball across. Gallardo's there. Oh, he's beaten Alex Merritt just. Watch close Jeremy Pino down. He can really cross a ball. I didn't click yes in time before it disappeared. But I wasn't really expecting all that much from this. Badoran Core just sort of drills it across the box. Kimpembe doesn't get there, and Gallardo's at the back post squeezes it past Alex Merritt. Couldn't have got that any closer to the bottom right corner if he tried. And on the stroke of half-time, there's been a highlight and a goal. Particularly unthrilling up to that stage, and actually we've done rather well. Abad has had to make a save that we haven't seen. With our backup goalkeeper and backup right winger, we've not conceded, and the right winger scored. It's always the way, isn't it? It's always the way. Pedri gets underneath that one. Batter Core, though, deals with his header. Ravella tries to get it. Oh, lovely ball to Core there. I don't know how he managed that. Gallardo back to Hanous. Valverde in the middle. Almost felt like a tackle was about to go in there. Bacardo to Faisal. Jesus, wept Omar Faisal. And somehow we're winning this. Being played in the Johan Cruyff Arena in Amsterdam. Hope I haven't got that wrong. Faisal. But bloody hell, I mean, to beat Alex Merritt, it does take something special. Sorry, PSG have Sander Berge. Trying to work out how they've taken off. They just moved people around. I think Pino's come off. They moved Mbappe to the right and Kane up front. I think that's what's happened. Has Sander Berge left Sheffield United now they've been relegated? I did check the transfers yesterday, actually, because I was looking at who to consider for the outrights for each of the divisions, because I do that every year. I try to predict who's going to win the Championship League 1, League 2. So I looked at all the ins and outs of all the leagues, and I don't think Sander Berge has left Sheffield United. They've done very little transfer business at all, either in or out. It was only really Lundstrom of note, I seem to remember. And he left on a free. So Kane gets one back there. I don't remember if we held on to Sander Berge for the entire Sheffield United save. I don't remember selling him. But of course, two Sheffield United players on this pitch, Neymar and Berge. Bizarre combination. Bruno Alves hasn't had a good one. He's still the best player we've got for that position. Radovan Kor's had a decent game, but he's going to come off. This is where I regret not putting Ivan on the bench, actually, because I don't have a lot of wingers on this bench. Anus is booked on a 6.6. Up against Neymar now, who's not as fast as he once was, but still technically brilliant. I'm going to bring Nedelaire on just to more for the yellow card than anything. Velo on a corner. Harwood's there, just over. Valverde's on a 6.6 and knackered. Am I looking to making that change quite late on? In the hope that we hold on to this 2-1 advantage. I might make that change later on. If it goes to a draw, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, Kane in all of the space. They're saying Valverde's given all he's got. A bit lucky there, because I think it ricochets off the defender and Mbappe's just first to react. And it's just fallen nicely for him to slide it to Kane. It's going to be a bottle. It's a bottle job. It's a bottle job. The bad's messed it up. There's a lot of ping pong there. There's a free kick given to us. Yeah, Antov's coming on this pitch for Valverde now. It's super late in the half. This is really not deserved by PSG, by the way, if you look at the XG. Really not deserved. Those two goals, basically, they're only two major chances. Extra time it goes, then. I presume I get an extra change here, and I might do it with Lodi, who's got to deal with Mbappe, but a very tired Mbappe now. But I'd rather have fresh legs there than anywhere else. There's Nedelaire gets booked as well, so I suppose it's a good job I did take off my right back. Literally nothing has happened in this extra time, by the way. Literally nothing. I don't think there's been any shots at all. Oh, there's one for PSG there. No, not like this. Not like this. Not like this. I mean, that's ridiculous. I've just watched that on the replay. The assist plus goal there is absolutely nonsense. I'm pleased for Alex Merritt, but that's about it. I mean, all in all, basically all we can say at this stage is when you consider the XG, the backup goalkeeper has cost us. The second goal, Harry Kane, was in acres of space, so I don't know if there was necessarily a lot he could do with that. And that last goal was nonsense, but he only had to deal with 5 shots on target, saved 2 of them, let 3 of them in. Meanwhile, Alex Merritt faced 12 shots on target, saved 10 of them. Taylor 2 goalkeepers, got a 7.3 for his efforts. Rightly so, realistically. Neymar managed to get booked after that goal. I didn't think there was any time for that. Disappointed. Angels Munoz, I just caught at the bottom there, said, what a sickener. Yeah. We get 13.7 million for losing. We get 12 million from television revenue, and then 7 million for various other stuff related to the Champions League. So 32 million in total. Payout too, so 30 million there or thereabouts. I would love it if there's some information of the Club World Championship directly following this. Hanus wants a new contract. Not now, Hanus. I think you've still got several years on yours. I'll deal with it when the time comes. But there's some kind of international thing going on right now. Whether it's I presume it to be one of those, what do they call it now? The end of season review. 2 trophies still. I think that was the European Super Cup trophy. Cardiston is 2 and a bit actual appearances. Got a 7.4 average rating. Merck's insane. 40 million cost. Felt like a big price tag at the time. Of course, 40 million is far and beyond anything we paid for anyone else up to that point. We then paid 55 guarantee for Valverde, potentially rising to 70. But in fact, apparently is guaranteed to rise to 70. Don't know what's going on there. I didn't get that notification. The car cost 8 million, which is a bloody bargain when you consider how good he is now. Bad 4 million for apparently homegrown club. But, I mean, Ravella realistically a bit of a star and all that. Free transfer from last year. We won the title, which is something. Club World Championship hasn't happened. The expectation is to reach semi-final, by the way. Runners-up isn't bad when you consider the fact we were going into that Chelsea home leg losing. Did win the Super Cup. I didn't really mention it, I don't think, but we did win the Super Cup against Chelsea. Spanish Cup, lost to Sevilla, we know that. That didn't go well. Didn't really care about the Super Cup, and Friendly Cup is something that exists and hasn't happened yet. Goal of the season came against Las Palmas, which is always nice. 7-0 biggest win. Madness. Well, the second biggest win was 6-0 against Chelsea. It's the weirdest part of all of that. Sponsorship tripled, but still less than 10 million, by the way. More broadcast, though. Competition money slightly down, just by the fact we got to every single same stage. So winning it and losing that final doesn't really make a massive difference, seemingly. I don't know how we have more sponsorship money without any new deals. The best 11 includes Quiros. Did get a 7.06 average rating, but potentially argue that Picard was the better player there. He just played obviously a lot more games. Did Quiros? If you look at that line down here, assists for all of them, goals for all of them as well. Valverde only scored once. It was an incredible goal. I do remember it. It was towards the beginning of the season, but he did get 10 assists in the end. Ravella got 15. Those Volante roles, massive providers for this team. Everyone on the front, 7 assists apiece, which is mad. 16 goals for Faisal, 21 for Merckx, 19 for Alves. So yeah, Alves did have more goals in the end. 7 for Cole, but he wasn't the first choice. Just played a lot of games because of the injury to Zukic. Manager of the month for November, January and April and the year. Player of the season, Merckx, young player of Merckx, of course, signing Ravello at free. Goal of the season was Zukic's. We saw that on the previous one. Top goal scorer was Merckx to 21. That's not really great, the fact that he was the highest goal scorer. But it was very spread out this year. The goals were very spread out, and we didn't have a consistent striker either. It was Icardi before he got injured. Icardi was doing very well before he got injured. And then obviously Alves took over after that point. Highest P fade and highest received at the same time. The fact we actually paid less for Valverde than we got for Merit is interesting. Bit of a fire sale at Real Madrid, of course, because they didn't get Champions League football. Gallardo actually got the most player of the matches. Gallardo definitely goes under the radar. Plays second fiddle to Merckx, who got 21 goals, but got 15 assists somehow in all that. Core, Faisal, Merckx, and Christensen all make their way into the best 11, although I think all of them on the bench. They are indeed. Shaq Moore remains at right back. Probably the biggest outlier in that is Shaq Moore at right back, looking at that. Next season, they want us to challenge. So these are going up every single year now. They actually want us to challenge for the title, or then next year actually win it. We're already doing that, but never mind. Quarter-final minimum. These demands are going up every single year. Spend the original transfer budget is in the 5-year plan. I've never seen that as a demand. I mean, it's favoured, but I've never seen the board actually wish us to spend the money. Oh yeah, accept that. So I need to tell this team to challenge, which must be the first one because qualifying for the Champions League is a step lower. Some of them are offended. Of course, the end of season meeting doesn't really matter anyway because you just redo it at the beginning of next year regardless. But Tenerife players in the... I mean, this is... The dream team is entirely from the final. Christensen in goal. Hanus makes this. Ravella and Bruno Alves up front. Apparently. I know he scored a lot against Chelsea. Probably did it against Copenhagen as well, thinking about it. But yeah, he got 8 goals in total. 8 of his 19 were in the Champions League for Alves. Merritt Christensen there. Harwood, best defender, wasn't in the Dream 11. Harwood and Carreras, actually, 1 and 2, weren't in the best 11. What? Kimpembe and Marquinhos. What? And Kane was the best forward, but Mbappe was the best midfielder. I'm pretty sure Mbappe was... Oh no, Mbappe was put on the right. That's fine. So I have zero clue when we find out anything about this Club World Championship, which happens in 2 weeks' time. Yet all my players have gone on holiday. So I don't know how this is going to work. Well, I guess I'll find out soon. Still nothing's come through. I clicked through another couple of days and nothing's come through still. So I'll see for the Club World Championship, which I presume is still happening very soon. Ta-ra.